With us now from Canada is Lindsay Sutherland Boal. Welcome to the show, Lindsay. How are you?
Hi. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing so well. This is the actual first Skype that we've done in this new studio. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of a little zany and crazy, but we're making it work. So you and I met during COVID.
Yeah.
And what was it, LinkedIn? Is that how we originally started talking to one another?
Yeah, we connected on LinkedIn, and as soon as we started talking to each other, it was like, oh, hey, friend.
Hello. Well, that's because Canadians are so darn nice. You spent a lot of time in theater and in the opera, right? So tell us about that. Let's go there, and then we'll go forward.
Sure. So I spent a long time in university honing my skills as an opera singer, and I was blessed enough to be able to work for a decade as a lyric coloratura soprano in both Europe and Canada. And I had some really unique performance opportunities, sang in some great venues, worked with some amazing people. And then I also did some theater work, and I did some television and film work. One of the short films I was involved in was at Cannes. So it's not so bad. I've been lucky. I've had a really good go.
Now, how did you realize that you had the range vocally to be an opera singer?
You know what? That just happens. Like when you start taking lessons, your voice type chooses you. You don't choose your voice type. And I had some great teachers along the way who helped me realize what my potential was. And I feel blessed to have worked with them. They came before me.
Was there ever a favorite warm-up that you did? Like me, or la, 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 la? Like, is there something that...
Yes. When I was pregnant, okay. I used to vocalize on the word epidural.
Epidural?
Epidural.
Because singing about it makes it less scary, right? I love I think the anesthesiologists are going to use that in their next commercial, right? So now you have you started doing a lot of marketing and a lot of branding for companies, and started doing video production for them. And then you came up with this new show titled is it the Canadian COVID Chronicles? Is it the 3 Cs?
It's the COVID Chronicles Canada. It's COVID Chronicles Canada. Good job. Yeah, and so I did it because since I had a baby, all of my work was in Europe, right, when I was singing and doing theater. But when I had a kid, I didn't want to take my kid away from the family unit. So I'm like, okay, I want to work. I'm a worker bee. And so I started doing video production because I had some experience with that from television and film. And so I work for Urban Outline Building Group, and we build really sexy office space, which is also an interesting industry to be in right now. And so in an effort to be productive during COVID, when all of my work was out, I had to figure out how to do all of my work in. And that combined with my past work history, I thought, well, why don't I create a video series out of the conversations that many people are already having, and just put it out there with the purpose of sharing grievances, sharing experiences, sharing solutions, sharing hope. And what's happened is there's this great conversation where we are actually lifting each other up and helping each other through this crazy time.
And when you and I first met, it was when we were like really under lockdown, and then things opened back up. But now, are you guys on lockdown again? Or stage 2? Like, where are you today? Are you allowed to see anybody or no? What's happening?
It's great. And so I'm up in Toronto, and we've just been rolled back to stage 2. So that means that schools are still open, but you can't go inside anywhere because everything, like there's no movie theaters, no dining. But in the true Canadian way, like if there's any business I would want to be in right now, it's patio heaters and snow pants, because everybody is just bearing down for the fact that we are going to be spending our winters dining outside, And so what's great is so many people are just finding new ways to do the things that we love to do, but embracing where we're at and doing it the good old Canadian way.
I love that. I did spend time in Nova Scotia, but I told you, next time I come up, as soon as I'm allowed to like start crossing over the borders, I'm coming back up. And I hope that you'll come to New York to see me as well. What are some of the favorite Chronicles that you've done, some of the couple of segments that have stuck out for you? Because you've done a lot of them now.
Yeah, I have. I've done 23. There have been a lot of cool guests. Every single one of them, has left something fun with me. I would say, actually, one of my favorite guests was an American, and her name is Dr. Catherine Marshall-Woods, and she's a clinical psychologist out of Washington, D.C. And she said many profound things during our Chronicle together, but one of them has absolutely shifted how I end almost every sentence. For example, so she was talking about her new book, and she says, "At a time I have yet to decide." And for whatever reason, that was like a kaboom moment for me. And then I started ending every single sentence that I was saying with "at a time I have yet to decide." I will do the dishes at a time I have yet to decide. I will get out of bed at a time I have yet to decide. And so she really changed my thought about how I respond to things. One of my other favorite guests was Dave Cairns, and he's the co-founder of CBRE Forward. And so he's in real estate and specializes in office leasing, which is directly related to what I do. But he used to be a poker. And so we were talking about how his skill set in poker has actually helped him in real estate. It's fascinating. There was another guy, Dr. Papan Fuckerdin out of New Zealand, who is a climatologist with Tonkin and Taylor. And during COVID, him and his team created a safe evacuation plan that got 2,000 people safely out of Cyclone Harold's way in Fiji, and nobody was hurt. Like, it's amazing. So the things that people are doing during COVID is so inspiring to me.
I feel the same. And it's also, I believe, brought our world closer. It was always such a small world, but, we have friends now that called in from India, like Mazur. He called in from India, and another gentleman from the Netherlands, and now you from Canada. I just feel like it's brought us, I don't know, like we're all in this together kind of thing. Like we are the world in a way, but there have been these moments of epiphany. Like you said, like you're just a paradigm shift. You're looking at things a different way. You're figuring it out. You're being, I don't even know if Canadians could be any kinder than they are, but people are hopefully being kind to one another and checking in on their neighbor. Like now's a good time to say, hey, my neighbor across the street, when this first started, David, he brought me over masks. I had some extra canned goods that I brought over to him. I mean, it was like we'd meet halfway in the street with our masks on and then we'd do the exchange, right? So you're such a joy. So what are you most looking forward to this coming week? Is anything on your agenda that you're planning out at a time that you decide? What are you looking forward to?
At a time I have yet to decide.
Yes.
I am beginning to build out what this whole Chronicle thing I think is going to turn into. Like this Chronicle idea came to me, I swear, as like an intervention from the universe saying, Lindsay, this is what you should be doing, right? And so I'm trying to fill out what is possible for the COVID Chronicles Canada, because I think we're at the point where nobody wants to talk about COVID anymore. And so I want to have nothing to do with COVID Chronicles Canada and share the Canadian experience and how we're all Canadian. But of course we are influenced by our neighbors, as you're saying, to the south. And I've just had some amazing experiences connecting with my American friends. And so really, while it's a Canadian show, we are neighbors. We are part of the same framework. And we all want the same things. And I want to develop a show that highlights, really, like you were saying, how we're all in this together. Maybe that's going to take longer.
I like it. I can't even say from your side of the pond to my side of the pond, because that's what I usually say to my friends in London, but we'll figure it out. I'm looking forward to knowing you, to celebrating you, to doing more things together. Maybe next month or the following month we could do some cooking together, right? Like make a recipe together, something fun. I would love that. Okay. Well, happy journeys to you, Lindsay. Sending you love from this part of North America to your part of North America.
I take it and I give it right back.
Thank you. I'll see you soon. Thanks for being my first guest in this new studio. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.